People of the Purple Butterfly here, otherwise known as People of Seven on Twitter and YouTube, people are elsewhere on the internet. My blog is located at purplebutterfly-people.blogspot.com. My soaps, Purple Butterfly Soaps, can be located at people.etsy.com. And my t-shirt designs, purplebutterfly-people.tmail.com. And today, or specifically yesterday, I made laundry detergent. And today is finishing up. Oh, let me show you what we got here. This is the texture of it. It's kind of like a congealed, oozy slime. That's the right consistency. Okay, now, here's what I do differently than most people that make their own liquid laundry detergent. Okay. First, for example, okay, this is my chef soap. We don't use this for laundry detergent. I'm just going to give you my example. You want to take a bar soap. Since I make my own soaps, I just choose the one that I like the scent of. In this case, it would be my Hugs, which smells kind of like a very famous bath soaps that has a similar name to Hugs. Go by the meaning and you'll know which scent that is. This smells like oranges and coffee, by the way. But you're going to take a soap this size and grate it. You're going to take a half a container of Phil's naphtha and grate it. Right into your soap pot, okay? Then you're going to take, in my case, there's 3 containers. This is my main container. And then we have these 2 little containers. So since I didn't feel like measuring, 64 ounces plus this many ounces plus that many ounces, in fact, that wouldn't be logical anyway because this is 51 ounces. This one was 50% free and 75 ounces, and this one is 100 ounces. So trying to measure that way wouldn't necessarily work. So what I did instead, since those were the 3 containers I intended to use, I filled them all up with distilled water. And when I ran out of distilled water, I still filled it up with the water we have here because it's going to boil for a good long time. So any, debris or contaminants that's found in your Cincinnati sludge, which is what we call the water, or any water from wherever you are, whether it be hard water or soft water, whatever, it gets boiled away. So I filled it up to the top, put it in the soap pot, started boiling it. Brought it to a boil, stirred it a couple of times, made sure that all of the soap was melted. And then when all of that was done, I came over here and see, here's the tricky thing. When you go by the Phil's naphtha method, it may or may not congeal. When you use a bar soap, it may or may not, thicken up. And it might be too watery or too loose or whatever. Well, after you use the Phil's naphtha and the soap, then they tell you put a cup or 2 of washing soda in there, and some people also put boric acid in there. Not boric acid, borax in there. I don't do either one of those. In place of the washing soda and the borax, I take 1 cup, or shall we say the scoop that comes with it, of any powdered soap or powdered laundry detergent. Sprinkle that in there, stir, and continue cooking. Okay? that does two things. One, it takes the place of the borax. It takes the place of the washing soda, but it also has enough of a stronger soap to keep anything that separates from just sitting there like, hey, I'm water and oil, I'm not going to blend. No, it congeals it all together. So that's how you end up. Let's just pick up the camera and show ya. That's how you end up with this texture. See that? Isn't that lovely? And this has no coloring to it. And the only scent is the scent of the soap I use. I could add fragrance oil to it. I could add coloring. But I'm not going to do either one of those things because, well, I basically prefer all of my soaps that is going to be used for my skin or my laundry to have no added chemicals, especially laundry detergent, because when you're washing off the city grime and the debris of the day, you want a nice fresh scent, and you don't necessarily want a heavily perfumed scent. So, you know, 1 bar of soap is usually a nice gentle scent. You can add whatever you want, but that's the way I do it. Now, the last thing I do when we're done with that consistency, not necessary, but it's just what makes my little brain say, okay. We get the stick blender out, catch it in midair if necessary. Hey, we bring it over here, get the soap spoon out, and then we just, you know, pulse it a few times to make sure everything's all nice and blended in. Because otherwise, if you, like, I had the 3 containers over there. So one of them, because it's in a larger container, took longer to set up, which meant it was watery. The other one was a little bit too thick. So I just blended them back together because I knew I had to stir it anyway. I just wanted it out the way because, you know, you don't want to take a pot like this and leave it somewhere. Because then somebody go, oh, what's this? I was going to make some dishwater, and they dump your stuff out. You don't want that. So I put it in the containers that it was going to live in, and figured that way when it's time to bring it back, I could just go ahead and pour it back in here. And now I'm just stirring it up. That way the consistency of the texture is ensured. It's all going to be the same consistency throughout. Yeah. And at that point, it's time to just go ahead and pour it into my little containers or back into the bottles that I established to use for this purpose. I like using containers that have the label of what I've actually created. Like this is a laundry detergent container, and I made some laundry detergent. I'm just refilling it. Okay, I have a bleach detergent that I just refill with bleach, and whatever I put together is not from the label. It just has the same name. Like, it says bleach cleaner. It's got a bleach cleaner in it. It's just not the bleach cleaner that came with it. You know, because when you make your own stuff, I like when labels are consistent. That way I don't have to label stuff. So, you know, that's like, this is a laundry detergent, no, dishwashing detergent thing. And when I make dishwashing detergent, or if I'm using my dish soap bar and making a new batch, I just refill that. So, yeah. I recycle, reuse, upcycle. But 90% of the time I'm making my own stuff. And that's enough. Now, this is how you know when you're done with this part. See all the suds is on there? Now, when you use this as a laundry detergent, there's not a lot of suds going on in the wash, okay? Because it's a low suds format. But because it is a soap, it does have some suds when you use it. You just don't have a lot. You know, I don't like a lot of suds anyway, because the more suds you see, the longer it's going to take to rinse. And if you're using a little mini washing machine or whatever, then that means you have to get a bucket and pour the water in to wash, then pour a bucket of water in to rinse. And then for the more soap you see, the more suds you see, the more that you have to rinse out. That means you got to do another bucket, another bucket, another bucket. I wear a brace. I use a rollator. I have mobility issues and I have back problems. I'm not trying to take a great big 5-gallon bucket and pour it in here 5 times just to rinse out a little bit of soap, when I could just use a lower suds amount, so that way 1 or 2 rinses is enough to remove all the soap and the dirt and the debris, and you're good to go. Yes, yes. Oh, especially since it's nature-based. So, now that that's done, and I don't bother to put a preservative in the laundry detergent for the simple fact that even though it does have a lot of water, we use it so quickly that I don't necessarily have to worry about anything going bad or rancid or whatever. Plus the fact that I use distilled water when I started, and I boil whatever, you know, it got boiled for almost 10-20 minutes, which is enough to disinfect or sanitize anything you got going on, you know. Hold on, let me put that on something that won't slide. So then, after you do that, you put it in your container and label it immediately, or use a container that already has a label on it, which is why I use laundry detergent containers, because it's already labeled for laundry detergent. And the only other thing you have to remember is, instead of no, that's not the one. Hold on. Instead of using the one mark, the 2 mark, the 3 mark, or the 4 mark that comes on these containers, you're going to use a 1/2 cup for every load. So if you fill this all the way up to the top, it's a 1/2 cup. Don't even bother to try and do like this, because there's not enough suds, because it's not a ultra or extra, you know, extra strength, blah, blah, blah. It has 1 strength. So just fill it up to the 1/2 cup mark, throw it in there, put your clothes in there, go through your cycle, and you're good to go. Anyway, this has been People at 7 on Twitter, YouTube, People at elsewhere on the internet. My blog is located at purplebutterfly-people.blogspot.com. My soaps, Purple Butterfly Soaps. Let's try to escape. That's funny. It's located at people.etsy.com, and my t-shirt designs, purplebutterfly-people.tmail.com. Y'all stay blessed, stay tuned. Bye now. Let me turn this off before it completely escapes, because I still got to cook dinner after this. Bye now.